host of the Gridiron.
Right. Quite a few, well, according to these articles here anyway, quite a few teams are showing some interest in Mr. Slayton. And yeah, hey, I understand, makes sense to me. All he's done basically year in and year out on a crappy team with crappy offensive lines, crappy offensive play, not very good quarterback play, blah, 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 blah. All he does every year is catch over 700 yards. Almost every year, year in and year out. Now, obviously not this past season, because obviously, between Wando Robinson, right, and some guy by the name of Malik Neighbors, right, they had over 200 receptions. There was over 300 targets thrown their way. So obviously Slayton's targets came down quite a bit. So where he wants to go is where he feels the love, obviously. Yep. You know what I'm saying there? Feeling the do-re-mi. But he wants, maybe a chance to win, right? Because we've been a perennial loser here, right? We had the one nice season, right, where we went to the playoffs. But other than that, we've been a doormat ever since he's come in. His main man, Daniel Jones, is not here anymore, right? And, Giants are paying him, 2-year, $12.5 million contract for 2 years. Yeah, he wants to feel the love. Now, according to I believe it's PFF, he's supposed to make at least the $12 million per season, maybe 12 to 15 per season, right? Because he's got that speed; he can stretch the field, right? Not $12 million for 2 seasons, right? But I said, he wants, he's going to, right, maybe make some money, get more playing time, get more balls, and maybe have a chance to win. I don't blame him. I'd want the same thing for him. Obviously I wish him nothing but the best. But he is getting quite a bit of some interest here in free agency as a niche deep threat. New York Giants wide receiver Darius Slayton heads toward free agency, expecting to garner attention from clubs needing to add speed to their lineups. And that's something he can give you. When you look at that, my ability to stretch the field becomes more valuable because that leads to shorter drives, one-play touchdowns. You need chunk plays to score in this league, Slayton said on the Talkin Ball with Pat Leonard podcast. We know we have a lot of interest out there, and when free agency opens up, we'll have a lot of different conversations to have with a lot of different people. The 28-year-old led the Giants in receiving yards in 4 of his 6 seasons in New York, but never surpassed the 770-yard mark in any campaign. Big Blue continually tried to downgrade Slayton but always turned back to the playmaker in times of need. With Malik Neighbors and a young core now in New York, Slayton is poised to move on. During the podcast interview, he repeatedly referred to the Giants as they, as opposed to we, a non-binding but subtle indicator of where he's at mentally heading into free agency. So his mind is not in New York, it's elsewhere. Slayton said his goal is to land with the winner. Yep, that's not New York. Somewhere where they're striving to be competitive and that the goal is to win. Another little jab at the Giants. Definitely winning and being in an advantageous situation are probably 2 things that are really important for me right now, Slayton said. Because they don't usually say, that the guys, which is basically one of the biggest things, obviously, if not the biggest thing, is what's the do-re-mi? You never hear the guys say that. It's just whatever's best for me and my family. What's advantageous? What's best? They never say where the money's the most. They never come out and say that, but we know what they mean. Let's see. Obviously, 5 out of 6 years with the Giants, we weren't competitive. We didn't make the playoffs. We weren't really close to making the playoffs. And one thing I've learned in my career, you play with guys that have the attitude of, if I go off and I get paid, I sleep great at night. And I have learned over my career that I do want to go off and I do want to get paid. But it weighs on me so heavy just losing every single week. I can't take it. Like, there's no money that's going to make me just go home and be like, I'm obviously going to be a little more happy in my Hellcat than in a Camry. But like my spirit, the core of me cannot take that. NFL clubs can always use speed, a threat like Slayton possesses in spades. He'd make a very nice wide receiver 3 on many teams as a field-stretching threat. While the top of the free agency class is littered with 30-plus-year-old possession wideouts, there are a lot. Oh, yeah. Few bring the burners like Slayton. The former Auburn product might not see a massive long-term pack, but he certainly can add a dimension to a needy club on a shorter deal. This receiver free agent class is very unique, and fortunately for me, I am in a niche spot for my ability combined with where I'm at in my career that makes me fairly valuable at this point in comparison to some of the other guys, Slayton said. Slayton landed as the number 44 pending free agency on Greg Rosenthal's top 101. But let's see here. Giants wide receivers heading to free agency. Per Pat Leonard, Slayton is not expected to return to the Giants because of his desire to win and the expected cost. Leonard named the Chargers, the Panthers, and the Steelers as potential suitors while bringing up Pittsburgh's pursuit of Slayton last offseason. So Slayton outlined what he's looking for at this point in his career and how he's prioritizing a winning culture over some extra money. Well, we'll see. Definitely winning and being in an advantageous situation. Yeah, that's just what I said there. Yeah. Slayton's 28, was a fifth-round pick by the Giants out of Auburn in 2019. He signed a 4-year, $2.7 million rookie contract with the Giants. 4 years, $2.7 million. That included $233,000 signing bonus and $233,000 guaranteed. The Giants and Slayton agreed to a restructured deal that reduced his salary from $2.54 million to a league minimum of $965,000. He was testing the open market as an undrafted free agent in 2023 when he returned on a 2-year, $12 million deal. 2024, Slayton appeared in 16 games for the Giants and caught 39 passes, 71 targets, 573 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So, but I mean, obviously, what I've seen, is that from per PFF, he's supposed to make more than like 12 to 15 million. Let's see here. All right, okay, let's go here. All right, let's go Milton here. Okay, let me. Okay, I got the PFF up here. All right, let's get tools. We're going to free agent. Free agent ranking. Okay. Let's go wide receivers here. Position wide receivers. All right, where is Slayton at here? Because PFF, they give them like an indication of what they might get on the open market. Darius Slayton, 3 years, $12.5 million. That's what PFF is thinking. Possibly 3 years, $12.5 million per season. So basically, what the Giants got him in the last 2 seasons for, $12 million. He's supposed to make, according to PFF, possibly make that in 1 season. And 3 years, 12.5, $25 million guaranteed. So a 3-year, $37.5 million, and which would be 2.5 times what he's made in his entire career. Because you figure, in his 3-year career, his 3 years, if he signs 3 years for 37.5, right? You figure his time with the Giants, right, is 6 seasons with the Giants. He's made $12 million plus about like almost $3 million as a rookie, right? So you figure he's made about $15 million with the Giants, right? Well, in 6 seasons, and on the open market, he might wind up making 37.5 in 3 seasons. So this is his one big, chance to go out there and makes a nice payday for himself. I mean, Christ. What was it? Jamar Chase, I think, wants what was it? Was it him or ABCD Lamb? One of those guys wants to make like $40 million in a season. Yeah. So, I mean, it depends upon how good you are, right? But I mean, so I mean, and if it won't be this season, somewhere along the line within the next year or 2 or whatever, we'll have the first $40 million wideout in a season. But I said Slayton's trying to, just trying to make that in a few years. You know what I mean? So, but you figure if he signs like a 3-year deal after this contract's up, he'll be over 30. And as long as he's still healthy and all, he can still contribute. But his biggest thing, his biggest asset, right, would be his speed. So obviously, the older you get, the slower you get, right? So this is a good chance to get a nice big contract for him. So I wish him nothing but the best. I mean, he did, very good for the Giants, right? In the beginning, he did have his dropsy issues. But I know when the first year when Shane and Dable came in here, I mean, Slayton, they had him like on the practice squad. I'm like, they came in, they brought in all these other guys and stuff like that, and slept for a short period of time. Slayton was on the practice squad. Like, what the heck? But then of course, then guys started getting injured and all that. They put Slayton, I brought him in, and of course that was in 2022. Once again, didn't have a phenomenal season, but almost every year, almost 700 yards. So, but obviously, he's become, I don't want to say like a forgotten man, but, when Malik and Wandale are getting whatever, 2/3 of the targets, so I understand where he's at. It comes a point in time, obviously, in a lot of guys' careers. It's he's given his heart and soul to the Giants for all these years, and it's time to go out. He gets himself a nice contract or so. Right? He should hopefully be set for the rest of his life. So I wish him nothing but the best. I mean, to me, he was just a fantastic class act of a guy. So wherever he goes, I'll be pulling for him, except when they're playing the Giants.